Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about The Last of Us Part 2, but we're not going to talk about the game itself. Well, I guess we'll talk about it a little bit, but we're going to talk about some of the reactions to it in a particularly spicy scene which has people questioning Sony's censorship policies. It seems like they're all over the place, and it just depends on, I guess, what your political leanings are as to whether or not something is acceptable on PlayStation. So Last of Us Part 2 comes out, I think tomorrow. People are already playing through it, and there have been some scenes that have been leaked. Okay, we're going to talk about this very, very spicy scene with the character of Abby and what appears to be a stand-in for Neil Druckmann, right? So this is making the rounds. I'm obviously not going to show it on the channel, but people are making comments about it, and they're questioning why Sony would allow something that graphic in their game, but they seem to be censor happy when it comes to anime games, and that's a damn good question. It does seem to be a very uneven policy, and it could be because Naughty Dog is one of Sony's developers, or it could be possibly maybe political. Who knows? This is funny. This is coming from Sword Knight Online on Twitter. 10 reasons why the infamous The Last of Us Part 2 sex scene is fine and shows that video games have finally matured. Ladies and gentlemen, place your bets on who gets the honor of penning this article within the next couple of months. Yeah, Chaotic Keyblade says it sounds like a CBR article in the making. And this is the thing. Why are they allowing this? Black Sage D, who I recommend you follow on Twitter, has pointed this out repeatedly, and I'm going to pull up some of his tweets too. He said, reminder, Sony censors Japanese games that just show skin. And we're talking cartoon characters, right? Nothing remotely explicit, yet they can show this. That is true. That is very, very true. And that's what I really want to talk about here. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see what the reactions to this game are tomorrow and the day after as people play through it. So far, what I'm seeing on Twitter is... get the bleach. So far, what I'm seeing on Twitter is not a very good reaction to the game from the general public. So I have to think that this is going to wind up being like The Last Jedi, where the critics are absolutely going to love it, and the players are absolutely going to hate it. It's going to be a very polarizing game, and they seem to know this. They know this going into it. Even some of the reviews are like, it's a good game, but The Last of Us Part 2 is a gut punch that keeps on punching. Well, that sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. I don't think it was a gut punch. No, I think he was aiming for something else. Sounds more like a fisting to me. Than a gut punch, but I'm seeing this a lot with reviews. Even though the game is getting positive reviews, a lot of the reviewers are like, God, this game is depressing. This game is very, very depressing and bleak and dark, but it's good. It's good, but it's dark. And this sounds a lot like The Last Jedi. It subverts your expectations. It's a good movie, but don't expect a Star Wars movie. If you go into it not expecting a Star Wars movie, you won't be disappointed. But here we go. A couple people tagged us in. Kamel Drews, is that right? Rabbits for Eva, and Black Dage C. Here's a source talking about Sony's censorship standards, again, for anime games, for cartoonish games. We remember that they were censoring Tifa in Final Fantasy VII Remake, that they put a sports bra on her, and that when they re-released Final Fantasy VIII, they actually covered up some of the female characters that were totally fine 20 years ago. So we're actually kind of going backwards here, but they are going kind of censorship happy with anime style games. But again, you can have photorealistic shenanigans. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you were saying they're going backwards here, and then they went forward, and then they went backwards, and then they went forward, and then went backwards, and that's how you got that scene. That is how you got that scene. Yeah, I would say fans are going to take it from behind with this game, but yeah. So anyway, it does seem very uneven. One angry gamer had this today that Okana? PS4 will be censored due to Sony's censorship policies. They actually put a statement out.
Oh yeah, I saw this earlier.
You did see this? We have recently received many requests for clarification around the potential of scene modification on our upcoming visual novel release. These changes apply to the PS4 version only and contain amendments to a selection of images and text found in the game. This includes 4 scenes which have been modified and 3 scenes which have been removed completely. Many thanks to our fans and community for their continued support of our release. We had to change it because of Sony. Here, somebody asked them on Twitter, transparent. Why are they not? They're not transparent at all. If they were, they would have said what and why. This is the only comment we can make on the subject. To blame this time the game isn't censored in Japan on PS4, and if a game isn't censored, it will be for both Japan and the West. They're just making excuses to drop PlayStation and bring games only to Switch. I'm afraid that is blatantly untrue. So it has to do with Sony's censorship policy, which a lot of people are calling them out on. Here we go. Twitter, Grums, 2D anime cleavage is bad. Reviewers hate it. Cover it with lens flare. But this, perfecto, 10 out of 10. Journalists will play again. Sony sure has a good eye for hypocrisy. I think we're finally learning absolutely everything is rigged in this world. I mean, this is really a double standard. I don't know what Sony's thinking. I don't know what they're thinking, but I have to wonder how many people are going to remember this come time to buy a PS5 if Sony is censor happy. And it's weird because Sony used to be the console that game players went to because Nintendo was censorship happy. And so they started going to Sony back in the 90s. And here we are. Here we are again. What the hell? History repeats. Here we go again. Imagine being Sony. Well-balanced content inhibits the sound growth and development of young people, demeaning to women. There is absolutely an attack on anime and manga style characters these days. I mean, this is kind of like right up there with what we're seeing on Patreon, where if the character could potentially, maybe possibly be underage because they look young because they're freaking cartoons, then it's wrong. But if they're photorealistic, then I guess it's totally fine. Very uneven censorship there, Sony. Absolutely. So we're going to keep an eye on The Last of Us Part 2. It is coming out. I know there are some people who are very, very angry. Very angry about it. I saw a video clip of a Twitch streamer who stopped the game after the golf scene to rant about how destroyed he was by this game. And I do think that this is going to go down like The Last Jedi. It's going to be polarizing for years. It's going to split the Last of Us fans. I don't know if it's going to be down the middle or if it's going to be more of an 80-20 split. And it's probably going to damage the franchise going forward.
There's definitely a split.
Somebody's definitely splitting.
Splitting somewhere. I have no desire to keep my eye on any of that.
Yeah. So Geeky's sitting this one out. She doesn't care.
I'm just here for jokes.
The whole game is a joke. This whole thing is a joke. All right, so I don't know if I can talk about it because, speaking of jokes, Sony was going around and striking channels who talked about this game. I'm not buying it. I have no desire to play it. I definitely, this is not what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking video games. Sorry.
They're overcompensating for something.
They are overcompensating. But yeah, meanwhile, the anime titties, they're getting censored. Go figure. All right, so I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later. Thinking about printing your own comic books, graphic novel, or manga? We recommend our friends over at PrintNinja. We've been using PrintNinja as long as they've been printing comics, and both the quality and price is excellent. Mention Clownfish TV and get an additional 5% overrun of your book order quantity printed for free. For free! That's free books, people. Just mention this offer on the phone or in the additional information box on the quote request form. That's printninja.com or click on the link in the description below. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.